This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money and your life. I'm John Deloney, joined here by my good friend and Ramsey personality, George Camel, and we are taking your calls on life, on money, on relationships, on what to do next. This is your show, America. This is your show. These are your challenges that you're walking through, and lucky for you, George and I are stumbling through our lives as well.
The fans have clamored for this dynamic duo, John, and we are back.
Yeah, and you can. We have a packed house out there in the lobby.
Just one sweet man out there. It's so great.
Hey, there's nothing like a guy who says, you know what, it's Wednesday. I'm not even going in. I'm not even going into work. I'm going to go hang out with George and Deloney there at the Ramsey Solutions.
That's how you know
audience.
You're winning at life.
This is how you know you're winning?
This is how you know. But it is fun. It's fun. I always love doing the show with you, with your prowess in the mental health arena, relationships, and my knowledge of basic math. We can conquer the world. We can do this.
Hey, so tell me about, you had a big event last night. How'd it go?
We did. It was the Game Plan live stream. It was myself, Christy Wright, Dave Ramsey, and I kind of opened it talking about goal setting and really goal success, because I've had a lot of goal failure in my life, and so I've done a lot of digging, a lot of research, and I tried to unpack it for the audience. And of course, Christy Wright came up to talk about balance and priorities, how to do the right things at the right time and actually fit all these goals into your life. And of course, Dave closed the night with the game plan.
Just went full Dave.
Budgeting, getting out of debt, generosity, and he slayed, as he usually does. And it was a great time. We had a few hundred people in the room with us. We had tens of thousands on live stream, and I hope a lot of lives were touched and helped, and people feel like they can get back on the horse.
So you mentioned that you've got some experience with failure. I've never experienced
As
that.
Someone
so what's
who
it
has
like?
only achieved, John.
What's that like,
that.
George? I'm just
Well, we've talked about goals a lot, and identity-based goals, and James Clear, his book Atomic Habits, and how helpful that has been, because I always thought it was all about outcomes. I was always focused on just the goal and achieving that success, and I never really stopped to think about starting with identity first, the
Who are
person
you?
I wanted to become.
Yeah.
Not just what I wanted to accomplish. And then actually creating systems, processes, habits around those things.
Yep.
I was like, oh, you have to do that too. There's action involved. I just thought you could write it down on paper and then it would happen eventually.
And what I found is when I write a goal down, and you've done more digging into this than I have, when I write a goal down and that becomes this psychotic focus for me, I start cutting corners and other things. I start not doing things. Let's say, like, I got to make this much money by the time I'm this old. I will stop showing up at stuff with my kids because I'm going to hit that number. I will take a third job when I really don't need to. I become so single-focused, single-minded on this goal that the things that actually matter and that bring me life, they go by the wayside. Instead of looping back, and I love the way James Clear says that, who are you? Yes, you want to get to a bench press number or a goal weight, but start with, I'm a person who stewards their body. And that tends to shift by degrees. I'm not going to eat that donut today, right? I'm going to stop with 2 cups of coffee instead of 17. I'm a person who honors my body. The weight takes care of itself, right?
Yeah.
And it's much more sustainable that way.
The outcomes naturally happen as a byproduct of the person that you want to become and the habits that you've created, the disciplines. Because what I found is motivation runs out real fast.
So fast.
I'm real excited at the start, and people experience this with debt payoff, and they go, okay, I'm done with the second job. I'm done with the sacrifices. I'm done cutting expenses. I just want my life back. And they fall off the wagon. And so creating those habits and those disciplines, remembering your why, having accountability, having tools in your tool belt like Ramsey Plus or podcasts or Total Money Makeover, whatever that might be for you, is so crucial to getting here. And we have the debt-free screams, and most of them say what it took is we went through FPU.
Yep.
As a couple, and that's what got this thing started. So there has to be this outside force that sometimes is the ignition that starts things for you, and then you can carry on because of your why and because of the habits. And so it's powerful stuff. We talk about the wheel of life that Zig Ziglar coined and how we've got to be balanced, and you talked about this just a moment ago, but you get a flat tire. And I made this reference of, hey, if you never skip leg day, but you skip all your son's soccer games, you're a really strong dude and a really weak dad.
Yeah.
that's not a place you want to be. And so Christy was so helpful in setting those priorities. I want to let people know you can actually go back and watch the replay on the Ramsey Show YouTube, on Dave's Facebook page. So go watch this. It's about an hour and a half. Sit down with your spouse if you've got one. If you're kind of like where a lot of people are when they go 18 months, there's been a lot of failure, a lot of set goals, and a lot of things not happen.
Yeah. So what's it like transitioning to stage, man? Like, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. You know, I'm learning from you guys. I'm taking cues from Dave and Christy and you, and really wanting to take this message to our audience and to our fans and do it in a fresh way, in a way that only I could do it, hopefully, right? From a younger kind of millennial perspective, someone who was in debt, who paid it off, who now, you know, my wife works here, so we're so dunked in the Ramsey plan. And so I'm just fired up. I'm like, we got to get everyone on this. We got to get all these people who are Ramsey-ish. You've heard this. I'm Dave-ish. Mm-hmm. And when they go all in, you get exponential change, exponential growth. And that's what I want for people listening.
This is some inside baseball here, but George and I were getting ready to come out to do this show, and he has Ramsey underoos on, and it's uncomfortable back there in the changing rooms. Not a thing. But it's true.
Not a thing. But, you know, if we made them, people, you know, if you build it, they will come.
They absolutely would, man. So what things are you working on right now?
So we've got the Fine Print podcast is the thing that I'm most excited about. We just released an episode about cryptocurrency, trying to help people understand it and how this falls into your financial plan, because it's just, you can't stop hearing about cryptocurrency.
That's because all of the world's economic systems are going to implode, and we have to move it all to digital zeros and ones.
You've been reading the same articles they have, John.
Well, duh, don't you know? It's just basic common sense that we're going to have no more money, George.
It's going to replace the dollar by tomorrow.
By 4 or 5 this afternoon, I think.
Oh, my goodness. It's already that time in another country, so
exactly.
Who knows?
It's already happened.
Yeah, so we explored this topic in 30 minutes in a narrative storytelling way. We have some experts on. We have real-life stories. A 17-year-old kid who can't remember the password to his computer and now is locked out of $462,000 worth of cryptocurrency. It's pretty wild stuff. So I encourage you guys, go listen to this. And again, this is not an anti-crypto episode. We're not here to bash crypto. I think it has its place. I just don't want it to replace your 401k and your Roth IRA and your retirement plan. This can be fun money. Like if you're going to Vegas or you want to put a little bit of your entertainment category there once you're out of debt and you're already investing 15%, that's fine.
The conversations I'm hearing around any number of things, I don't want to just focus on crypto, but they all stem from a place of fear, and it's all coming down. And so it's people hedging, and without a doubt, crypto is a terrible hedge. It might be a monetary replacement. It might be something that you play with, right? But this will help me if this all falls apart. It's a poor thing. And we are always telling people 2 things. Number 1, the tortoise always wins. Like making a series of small, repetitive habits that you do every single day is get you where you want to go. It's not going to get you there fastest. It's not going to get you there in the shiniest car. It's always going to get you there. And nobody makes good decisions when it's panic. Nobody makes good decisions trying to avoid calamity. You make good decisions when you're calculated, you're measured. That's why I'm so happy that the Fine Print podcast that you're putting out there is out there in the world. It's giving real information in a controlled way.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
This is the Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. We're taking your calls on money, on life, on relationships, mental health, marriage, anything you got going on in your life, give us a shout. I'm John Deloney, joined here with my good friend George Camel. Let's go out to Alex in Louisville, Kentucky, in Louisville. What's up, Alex?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Outstanding. How are you, man?
Hanging in there.
Good deal, brother. So how can we help, man?
So basically my question is how do I get my wife to start dreaming again? We're about $110,000 in debt, and that's actually, we've talked about it, paying all this off and really getting with it and getting this out of our life. But just the other day, I finally sat down and actually truly totaled everything up, not just, I think it's about this and this and this. So that's when I came up with just over $110,000. And
hey, stop right there. Put me in your seat, man. Was that a scary moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was bothersome to begin with, but I mean, I didn't think it was that many digits.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, it bothered me so much the other day. I mean, I couldn't work, and I talked about it nonstop. I mean, I've never really had any problems with anxiety or panic, but I think that's the closest thing to a panic attack that I've ever had.
Absolutely.
And so I'm ready to, take on another job. There's FedEx and UPS over here, and I mean, they're pretty flexible and they actually pay pretty decent. I mean, that'd be a whole nother $30,000 we can add to the pile a year. But, when I bring that idea up, it's, well, I don't want you to get another job because when we get home, I really need your help with the baby. And, if she could see herself through my eyes, she'd know that, I mean, she's an awesome mom.
Yeah.
And I thought I was an awesome dad for being a first-time dad. And then she comes home when I have him for the day, and he still wants to go to her. So she's that good.
Well, how old's your baby?
9 months.
Yeah, brother, don't take any of that personal, man. That I lost a lot of sleep and had a lot of heartache over with my first child, wanting mom instead of me, and I thought it was because I wasn't as good as her and I was screwing something up. Not the case, man. That baby's got a lot of stuff going on that has nothing to do with you, so don't take that stuff personal. Yeah. So have you sat down with your wife? I can hear it in your voice. Like, the word I would use to describe what I'm hearing is scared. Like, this is the first time this thing got real. Have you sat down and told your wife that you're scared? You're scared for your future. You're scared for y'all's small family. Any more kids are going to come along. Does she know what this is actually doing to the inside of your guts and inside of your heart?
I don't think she knows that. I mean, I just think she knows it bothers me, but
yeah,
I grew up in a family where we just make the payment. Just make the payment. Just make the payment. And I mean, I really, and to this day, my mom and dad, God love them, are still like that. But
sure.
I don't want any of that, and I don't want any part of it. And I am, admittedly, I am the spender, but that's where she's kind of the anchor to all this. She's really helped bring a lot of that in. And I feel like if I could just get her to dream with me and see that it bothers me, I would, we would actually, get somewhere. But I don't know how do I have that conversation to where it's productive and that it actually, I don't want to say the wrong thing and, come off as, being a jerk or.
Yeah, totally. So I'm gonna give you part of it, and then George is gonna walk you through the back half of the plan part. I think there's two keys here. You're right. Sitting down and painting a picture together of what the future could look like if you guys got a hold of your finances, a hold of your communication, a hold of being on the same page when it comes to raising your kid. What does time look like? All that is extraordinary. The path into that is vulnerability for you. It is sitting down and looking at your wife. Because right now she thinks this is like you're annoyed like your favorite football team is losing. You know what I mean? She just has dumped this over into things that husband rants about. Not, hey, I'm having a panic attack. My body is starting to revolt on me because I'm scared. So you get a babysitter, which is going to be hard for a 9-month-old. Y'all get a babysitter and you go out somewhere. And you sit down and say, hey, this is going to be a tough conversation. I'm going to be honest as I can with you, and probably in a way you never have. And I'll tell you, if you were speaking from the heart and you were talking about you, not her, you're not going to say the wrong thing. If you make this into an attack mode and you go after her, then that's just nonsensical and silly. This is about your heart right now. And you let her know, honey, I did all the math and we're 110 grand in the hole. And I'm scared. And the only way out of this thing is sacrifice. We aren't safe. We've put our baby in a position, in a vulnerable position. We've put our marriage in a really precarious position. And then the second part of this thing is a plan. And so George can walk you through, hey, here's what this actually looks like. Because you've come to your wife and complained about stuff before. You've ranted and raved about stuff before. And then she's rolled her eyes and moved on because that's the right response to someone just ranting and raving about nonsense. The second part of this is saying, and here's the plan.
Yeah. So let's dig into some of the financial part, because I think part of this is you do need a why, like John's talking about. You need to have that conversation with her on a date night and go, hey, let's dream about what our future could be, because right now it's obviously our present is not great. And so I think getting her to dream about that aspirational future and then coming up with a plan to get there, and sometimes that takes math where you go, hey, look how much we're paying in interest. Look how much of our money is going to lenders every month. And once you do that, she may get fired up. And if you guys haven't been through Financial Peace University, something where you can get on the same page, I'm happy to gift you guys a year of Ramsey Plus where you can dig in that. But what is your household income right now?
Right about 120.
120. Okay, great income there. And you have 110K in debt. What kind of debt is this?
So it's a little bit of a mix of student loans. We have home repair loans, about 30. That's from mold remediation foundation work combo. And then
that one hurts, huh? That one hurts.
Oh, yeah, it really hurts.
Nothing like buying a house that you love to find out it's got stuff growing in it, it's falling apart. That one hurts.
It's supposed to be taken care of on the buy, but it was not, and the contractor closed the business, so that really hurts.
Oh, man.
So there's that, and there's a personal loan there, and then I think about $15,000 in a truck loan. The other car is paid off.
Okay. Well, you've got a great income here, and if you guys can, you're saying you're willing to take on the side job to make this happen, right?
Oh, yeah, I've done it before. I'll take 3 jobs. I mean, I don't care.
So
but I don't want to do that because I want to do whatever we do together.
Yes.
You know,
well, make sure you're on the same page with it. But if you let her know, hey, this is a temporary sacrifice to get us out of this mess, and here's the expectations. I'm going to be gone 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week, whatever that may be. And we're going to clean this up 6 months faster if I do that. I think that will help you guys start to dream together. But I think if you can live on, a portion of your income, you can get rid of this debt in 2 years following our plan. Most people can do this in baby step 2. Do you have any money in savings, any cash right now?
Yeah, we just $1,000. So that was part of where we kind of sort of, I've followed you guys for a little while, and so without calling it the Dave Ramsey plan.
Yeah.
I've kind of tried to start to introduce it, but without that dream, it just seems like, we still fall short on it.
Well, you hang on the line. I'm going to have Kelly pick up and gift you guys a year of Ramsey Plus. And what I want you to do is get on the Every Dollar budget. You'll get Every Dollar Plus through that, and you'll get access to Financial Peace University. Just make a commitment, sit down, start to watch some of those videos, dream together, find that why, develop a plan, and show her that you can get out of this in under 2 years.
I think they can do it in 18 months.
100%. He's willing to work for it.
Yeah, if he's able to get that second job and he's making $150,000 a year, they owe $100 grand.
110. You can pay off 55.
Yeah, if they could live
60.
pretty Spartan for a year, they could knock this thing out quick. I get that question a lot. How do I help them? And the reality is, all we can control at the end of the day is our thoughts and our actions, the things that we do, the things that we choose to think about and ruminate on and spin out on. And so often, instead of saying, how do I get them to get on board? It's, how do I invite them into what I'm feeling? And that's sitting down and saying, I am scared to death, and I got a plan. This is The Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225, taking your calls on life and money. Let's go out to Quinn in Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, Quinn, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. It's really, really good to talk to you guys.
You too, my brother. What's up? How can we help?
So I am a 20-year-old student I'm a student. I'm a university studying computer science, and I am making a little bit more money than I expected to at this point. I have two jobs. One is as close to full-time as you can get in school, and then I've got another little freelance development thing that I do on the side, and then I'm also a TA. So I've got 3 streams of income, and 2 of them are pretty substantial. So
what does substantial
now
mean?
Total... Substantial to me means about $50,000 as a full-time student.
Dang, Gina, that's substantial to all of us, man. Congratulations.
Way to go.
Yeah, thank you. So, and of course that's pre-tax, but I've gotten into the habit of every paycheck I take $1,000 off the top and I put it in my investment account. So I've been doing that for a while, and about the better part of a year. And so, well, I guess almost 6 months, I should say, because I've got a little over $10,000 in there now.
Wow. And
I'm getting to the point where it's about to go up a little bit more. And so, I don't know, I just opened up my Roth IRA, and essentially what I wanted to ask you guys is, as a 20-year-old, how can I best set myself up going forward? After this, I'm in my last year, so next, about May of next year, I'm going to start working full-time, and I'll be making more then. So I'm kind of looking for general direction as opposed to just saving, because I feel like that's kind of not tapped out, but I feel like there's only so much I can get you.
To everybody listening to this call, I'm going to turn over to George. To everyone listening to this call who's complaining about the quote-unquote next generation and these kids don't work hard and they don't do – everybody take notice of Quinn, because there's some ballers out there who are absolutely grinding and getting it done, man. Quinn, you're an inspiration, and I'm grateful for the call, man. What a absolute stud, dude. That's awesome. Who taught you this?
Thank you. My dad's an entrepreneur. He got laid off, so he started a company, and so that was a big inspiration for me. And my parents have always been, my whole family really has been pretty fiscally responsible, and just here and there, I've had mentors that, especially like my uncle is one. He saves every dime, but he's going to retire at 65 and he's going to live a good life afterwards. So I don't know. It's kind of just been a culmination of my experiences at 20.
And everybody else listening to this, your kids are watching you. They're not listening to you.
Yes.
They're watching you. You want to create children like Quinn? Do right by your money. Do right by your relationships. Work hard. You get laid off, step up and create a job for yourself. Good job to you, Quinn. Shout out to your family. George, what in the world should this guy be doing?
Well, you're already crushing it. And so we tell people to, while you're in college, to be investing in yourself. Obviously, you're already investing. You're doing great. I want to make sure that you can get through college debt-free. Is that the case?
Yes, sir, it is. Yeah, my family's been able to cover that for me.
Fantastic. And you graduate next year?
Yes, sir. I'll graduate in May.
Awesome. So once you're out of college, you'll be making a lot more money, and we teach the process called the baby steps. I'm not sure if you're already familiar with that, but do you have any debt whatsoever? You're completely debt-free?
No, sir. Completely debt-free.
And do you have a fully funded emergency fund? I assume you don't have a ton of expenses right now as a student.
No, I have no personal expenses to myself apart from, if I want to go out or anything that's not essential to school. I don't do much because I don't have a ton of time left over, but I do have about $2,500 in my account right now.
Okay. So
which would last me reasonably long because I don't actually have to.
You don't have many expenses. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so your next move out of college would be to get that emergency fund in place because you're probably going to be getting your own place, an apartment, or whatever you want to do there. And so your next thing would be making sure you're investing 15% of your household income into investment accounts, retirement accounts, which I don't think you're going to have a problem doing. You're going to have that margin, and you're already starting to do that, which is great. A Roth IRA is a great start to max that out, and depending on your career and your workplace, you might have a Roth 401k option. And that's a great place to go as well. And if there's a match, obviously you're going to be taking that as well. So you're going to be fine on the investment part. After that, you're not going to have kids in the next year or two. So you want to focus maybe on what does it look like for me to get into a house that I can afford. Maybe you could pay cash. I mean, a guy at your age who's already doing this well, what an inspiring story if you could save up and pay cash for a home in South Carolina if that's where you're going to plant your roots. So that's what I would be doing, is just stocking away as much cash as possible after I've invested that 15% into retirement. You've got that emergency fund in place. But, man, you're doing so well. Yeah. I'm just proud of you.
And, hey, Quinn, one more thing.
Thank you.
The temptation here is because I know how your mind works, and you have a unique mind, and that is one of abundance mindset. You see money everywhere, and you aren't afraid of hard work, and then you think, I want my money working for me. It's just sitting here. I'm making $50,000. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to be really patient. You have a few months to get through until you're done with college. Your number one investment right now is Quinn. It's getting out debt-free. Okay. You're going to be annoyed/shocked at how much it costs to move and get suits for your new fancy job. Or I don't know, if you're going to be working in computer science, you may just be able to go get a bunch of punk rock T-shirts and get through it. But getting set up in a new place, all that costs money. And so here's what I want you to fast forward 6 months after your first job. I want you to be in your new place with a car that's reliable, with clothes. I want you to be debt-free 6 months after college. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So start thinking about it's incredibly expensive to get a moving truck. And to move, if you're going to be in South Carolina, you may get a job in Atlanta, you may get a job in New York, Los Angeles, wherever you're going to go. I want you to get through that season debt-free. So sock this money away. And you're going to think, it's not working for me. It is, because you're working a longer game here. But you are the best investment until you are in that first job, and then you're getting paychecks, and then we're putting it in the different accounts, and we're off at the races there. What a stud! Let's go to Jonathan in San Antonio. Hey, Jonathan, what's up, brother?
Hey, I appreciate you taking my call.
You got it, man. What's up?
Just calling. I'm 24 years old, looking to purchase my first home, and I don't know if I'm kind of crazy for doing what I'm about to do, so I wanted to get some insight from you guys.
Well, let's define crazy.
You're talking to two pretty stable guys, so great call, Jonathan.
At least one.
What's up?
Great, I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I'll start. The home is $415,000. My current annual income is $105,000. I don't have any debt, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Of course, I've got the home I'm looking at, and I'm just trying to figure out if what I've got going for me right now is enough to afford what I'm about to do.
How much cash do you have to put down?
I've got, if you want me to be brutally honest, the whole story is the down payment will be a gift, and it's going to be about $85,000. So that's a start, I suppose.
Sweet gift.
Who's gifting you $85,000?
That would be my father.
Wow. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's a good situation, so I'm very appreciative.
Okay.
So you've already got that about 20% down there?
Yeah, that'll be right at 20, or right about 20%.
That's great. Well, that's going to help you avoid that private mortgage insurance, which is awesome. Are you putting any of your own money into this as well?
It was a thought. I've got about $30,000 or $40,000 in available cash, and then an additional, I'd say, $30,000 or $40,000 in retirement funds. So I don't know if it'd be smart to use some of my available cash towards this now, or if I should save it and continue saving.
It would be smart to use the liquid cash. It would be dumb to touch anything in retirement accounts. Yeah. So you said you had 30 to 40. I would get as big of a down payment as you can on that house, because that's going to do two things. It's going to lower your monthly payment because you have way more equity, and you're going to be able to pay that house off a whole lot faster because of that. You're going to have more margin back in your budget. So,
but is that on top of an emergency fund, or is that your emergency fund?
So that kind of includes, I would say that $30,000 is all I've got in cash across mutual funds and available cash. So I'd say I'd take about 5 to 6 as an emergency fund out of that. So okay. I'd say 25.
Yeah. So subtract that emergency fund out, use the rest on top of the down payment, and you're going to be in great shape.
Yeah, do the math. I don't want you over leveraging yourself as a 24-year-old. Yeah, you're walking in with, it looks like you're about. Yeah, it looks like the math works out. It's a lot of house for a 24-year-old.
Yeah, make sure that payment is no more than a quarter of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed rate. And you'll be in great shape, man. Way to go.
This is The Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by George Camel. We're taking your calls on life and money. Let's go to Sabrina out in Buffalo, New York. Hey, Sabrina, what's going on?
Hi, I'm a senior in college, and my boyfriend's also a senior in college. And I guess 2 weeks ago, we found out that I am pregnant, and last week I got proposed to. And we're kind of just wondering, how do we take care of our baby while we're still graduating, and how we get started in marriage.
I was just telling somebody before the show came on, Sabrina, that I've had a chaotic last few weeks, and I am going to retract that statement 100%. So you're having a baby, congratulations, and he proposed to you. You don't sound super excited. Tell me about that.
Oh, I am. I'm still kind of in shock over the whole thing.
Yeah, I can imagine so. So what are you studying?
I'm studying computer science.
Computer science, okay. And what's your, I guess, did you say yes?
Yeah, we said yes. We're getting married in December. I'm super excited. I plan on marrying him 2 years from now, just not now, if that makes sense.
Hey, it makes total sense. And so what's your fiance going to do?
He's going to be a mechanical engineer. We're super lucky because we kind of both have job offers. I mean, I'm still looking, but the current offer I have, I'm going to be making $130, and then he'll be making $90.
Yeah, outstanding. Okay, so drill down your question for me. You graduate, you're a senior, so you're going to graduate in May, is that right?
Yeah, both of us are.
Okay. And are you going to be able to navigate your final trimesters in school? And what's your spring semester going to look like?
I was really lucky. I only had 2 classes left, but because of financial aid, I'm going to have to take 12 credits. So I was just going to take the easiest classes I need to graduate.
Cool. So in that very seat, as a dean of students at several colleges, I worked with students in your situation. And so what I would recommend you do is to go meet with the school health clinic, go meet with the dean of students office, whoever that person would be that would walk you through that. Let them know. And make sure everybody's on the same page, just your college resources. You're paying $1 bajillion for those resources, so this is a great moment to put those to use. And you're going to y'all get married pretty quick, right? So you're getting married in just a few months here in December?
Yeah. Just because we didn't want to be married right when the baby was about to pop out.
Those are your words, not mine. I wouldn't have said that, but cool. I'll let you have that one. So tell me, distill your question down for me. It sounds like you were skiing and then the skis flew out from under you, but you didn't let go of the rope and you just get that face full of water for about 250 yards before you finally let go. And now you're bobbing in the water and everything is like, whoa, everything changed. Do you have a particular question, or you just want someone to walk alongside you and say, we're rooting for you and you guys are going to be doing great financially? You're going to be, if you make some wise choices financially now, make some wise choices on, this is happening 2 years early, everything got accelerated, but we're going to be highly connected. We're going to get some premarital counseling. We're going to make sure we're on the same page, both how we're going to raise this baby, how we're going to love this baby, where we're going to live, and start to, the word I want to infuse in your soul here is intentional. You're a computer scientist and you're marrying an engineer. Y'all intentionally build things. I want you to take that level of intentionality to your relationship that's just been put in hyperdrive. But beyond that, do you have a specific question that we can help with, or do you just want us to cheer you on here?
I think both of us, we're going to be graduating with, I think, $30,000 of debt combined. Okay. And we were kind of just wondering if we should financially what we should do in order to pay off this debt, because should we pay off this debt immediately or should we wait until we're kind of settled in? What exactly should we be doing?
Yeah, George can hop in here with walk you through the baby steps, but absolutely, you're going to want to get this thing out of your life as soon as possible. You're going to want to enter into this new season of your life as a wife, as a mom, as a brand new computer scientist. You're going to want to walk through that life with as few strings or attachments to other people as possible. and yes, knock that debt out. George, walk us through the baby steps.
So what we talk about with the baby steps, in baby step 2, you're paying off all of your consumer debt. But because of the baby on the way, we talk about going in storm and stork mode, John. So I want you to not pay off that debt until the baby's here and baby's healthy and you're healthy and everyone's doing good, and whatever pile of cash you have, then you can throw that on the debt. And with this income, it's going to be gone within a few months after the baby's here regardless. So do you guys have any income right now, or are you just full-time students?
I mean, we work minimum, I guess not minimum wage jobs, but like slightly more than that just to pay our rent, because like both of us are on like basically full financial aid, so like whatever, but we have to pay for like rent and food and stuff.
Okay, and you're not going into any more debt before you graduate?
Like whatever, like I cannot make this year because of pregnancy, if that makes sense, because like I don't know how much money, like I probably won't be able to work next semester, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, as much as you can avoid going into more debt, that's going to be super helpful as part of this process as you bring a baby into this world and really start your adult life a little earlier than you may have planned. So I would sock up as much money as you can until baby's here. And if baby's healthy and you've got that money sitting there, you can throw that on the debt. But either way, you need to get really focused on this debt, because I want you to focus on being great parents and being great adults and not have this other stress in your life of we got to make payments to lenders.
Yeah. Here's what we're going to do. Sabrina, we're going to give you, I was going to say I am, but George is here too. So we're going to give you, as a baby gift, we're going to give you a year's subscription to Ramsey Plus. And I want you and your fiance, in the next few months, I want you all to sit down and watch all of the Financial Peace University lessons. I want you to walk through it together and create an intentional plan about what life is going to look like next semester, what life is going to look like a year from now, where y'all might want to live. You've got job offers in hand, which, as George said, are phenomenal offers. The way forward right now is a cold water dose of reality, a cold water dose of planning, and high intentionality. And then, by the way, when this baby comes, everything you think you've planned is going to blow up, right? Babies will do that to you, and your life's going to change in dramatic fashion. So the intentionality and stuff you can do up front. So stay on the line, and Kelly's going to get you a copy of that. It's going to get you a year subscription there. Let's take one more quick call. Let's go to Dustin in Indianapolis. Hey, Dustin, we're up against the clock, so get right to your question, brother.
Yes, I'm actually just calling because trying to settle some debts. I'm trying to make a home purchase.
Okay.
I've got 3 lines of debt on my credit. I just tried to settle up with one today before I called you guys, and they're not willing to negotiate the price, and they're just not trying to send me any information at all. I just don't know how to go about getting it taken care of.
Do you have it in writing? Did you ask for that, all the specifics of that?
I asked, and they refused to give me anything.
Well, they're legally obligated to give you that information.
You're holding a letter that says you owe them this much money, though, right?
I don't have the letter. I've got from back from the credit bureau saying I owe them this amount. I mean, this is back from like 2018.
It's a few years old.
I'm just trying to get everything taken care of.
Well,
it's what's stopping me.
If you're proactive, you call them and you put the ball in your court. And you need to make this on your terms, and you say, hey, I'm happy to work with you guys, but we've got to get some of these specifics done, and you need to follow the law. And so I need this mailed to me in writing to tell me exactly how much debt and what this debt was from, and then we can talk through a payment plan and what we're going to do to get this thing out of our life. And
I would make sure that I document the time and date that you made this phone call, who you talked to, what's the number you called. Make sure you keep records of these interactions. And here's a hard reality. If they won't negotiate with you, you owe them the money. Usually they will, but sometimes they won't, and you've got to pay your debts off, man.
Yeah.
And that's your responsibility.
And do not go buying a house when you got this mess. Clean this up first. Right. Follow the baby steps. Do it the right way. You don't want to need this added stress in your life.
That's an hour in the books on The Ramsey Show. George, it's good to be with you, man.
Let's do it again.
All right. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money and your life. I am John Deloney, joined here by my good friend George Camel, and we are taking your calls on everything. This is your show, 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. I've spent the majority of my career dealing with relationships and mental health challenges and parenting and everything in between. How to deal with bosses you can't get along with, how to deal with coworkers that are just nuts. Not that I'm speaking from a personal experience.
That felt personal, John.
I was only looking at you because you're sitting at the desk with me. And George, you have stepped into this money expertise in a pretty unique way, man. And you've been here for, 8 years?
Yeah.
Both joining Dave on live events and absorbing this stuff, practicing it in your own way, and now you've become a national expert in this stuff.
Apparently. It's a true honor. You know, Dave called me the Ramsey test tube baby because I feel like I grew up here and I was dunked in the Ramsey way. And I didn't grow up with this stuff, John. You know, I came out of college with $36,000 in student loan debt and $4,000 in credit card debt, and I was normal, and I just thought, this is normal. This is average. And we had a debt-free scream yesterday, and she said the most profound thing. She said, I was really good at managing debt, and I was terrible at managing money. And my head exploded. I was like, I've never heard it said so eloquently. And that's America. They're really good at managing debt, and so they feel like we're winning. Yeah. We know how to do this, right? I grew up watching my dad do this with credit cards. We're going to move it to the 0% one, and we move that here, and you're doing all these crazy, beautiful mind math to try to make your life work.
And we're winning, stressful. Right? We're winning.
You think you are.
Yeah.
And so when I started working here, I went, you know what? If I'm going to work at this place, I don't want to work somewhere where I don't fully agree with the principles. And so I started to do them. I did the baby steps, and I got out of debt, and I started investing and saved for emergencies. And then I realized how much anxiety money was causing me that I didn't even realize until you're on the other side. And so my wife works here. It's a beautiful love story we'll save for another time. But we just had this big, hairy, audacious goal to pay off our house in under 3 years. And that was back in 2019. And thanks to this place and the principles, not because we're special or rich, just because we followed a proven process, we're going to pay off our house in 6 months.
That's cool.
In our early 30s. And I just went, I didn't think I could do this. I thought that's for other people. Yeah. That's for rich people. That's for people who make more money than I do. But man, this stuff works, and I just want to spread the word that it works and to help people avoid falling for the traps out there. And that's what I'm doing with this new podcast, The Fine Print. So I'm just so passionate about these principles, and the more people I can help, the more I'll feel like I've got some purpose on this earth.
That's awesome. So if you are struggling with your marriage, your relationships, your parenting, your kids going back to school, work relationships, or if you're trying to navigate this, man, I'm sick and tired of looking at these bills, and I can't make the math work. I'm great at managing my debt. I'm not great at managing my debt. I'm great at playing a shell game in my own house. And
it's a house of cards.
I'm ready. Yes, and millions and millions had it come down on top of them a few years ago, and then we've all had some checks mailed out to us, and we're setting ourselves up for another fun house of cards. So give us a shout, 888-825-5225. Before we go to the phones, George, you talk a lot about you like talking to the millennials.
Yeah,
and my wife tells me I was born in the wrong century often.
Because you're an old man?
When I joined, but when I joined this company, I didn't have social media. I had a ringside seat to years and years and years of working alongside students and their parents and high school kids and college students. And I I knew, man. It's like hanging out with drug addicts. Like, I'm not going to do that.
I remember when you started and they were like, yeah, no, John's not on the internet. I'm like, what? How? How does he exist?
Yeah. And shockingly, I had a great job and was doing great professionally without this.
Without sharing it to the world?
Exactly.
How is it possible?
I was able to eat a meal all by myself without telling anybody about it. It was a lot of fun. But this Wall Street Journal article came out the other day. Facebook is some released internal documents. Facebook knows how toxic Instagram is for teenage girls. One of the released internal documents has things like, we know we make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls. Instagram increases the rate of anxiety and depression. These are from internally released Facebook documents. And if you don't know, Facebook owns Instagram. Among teens who reported suicidal thoughts, 13% of British users, 6% of American users trace the desire to take their own life to social media.
Awful.
And here's the thing. I've got a 6th grader now, but last year in 5th grade, just at a local public school, my son came home one day, head held low. Dad, I'm the only kid in 5th grade that doesn't have TikTok, that doesn't have social media. And I sat him down and said, son, I've been telling you for years that your parents are weird and that this day would come, and I'm sorry. I know that makes you the odd kid in class. It turns out he wasn't. It turns out parents, we've connected over that actually, like, oh man, you want your kids to connect to other real human beings and have real relationships. But the data is emerging, and especially among my mental health colleagues across the country. Social media is destroying our children. And I can't say it any more emphatically. It's destroying our children. I know that we think we are helping them by giving them these digital babysitters and saying, you connect with your friends and this is helpful. It is not, George. And it's creating this universe, these false realities. It's hacking our internal neurochemicals and our fight or flight responses. It's just destroying children. And it's not helping adults either. Here's the sucky part, George. I never had it until I got it for this job. And then I find myself, like, my kids are saying, Dad, you want to come play? I'm like, hold on, kids. And I'm scrolling through this thing. And I thought, oh, no. Yeah. I'm an addict, too, now, right?
It's a vortex.
So what are some I don't know, some things you would recommend to millennials, to old? Now, I mean, Facebook's taken over for adults too. 67. It's when my grandfather, who's still alive, he's in his 90s, when he friended me on Facebook in college, I remember thinking, I'm done here. Like, I remember this project for me. What do you recommend to folks to get off this stuff and to reconnect with human beings?
One of the biggest things I found is to remind yourself that you have control of who you follow.
Nope. No, you don't, George.
You can control that, John. There's an unfollow button.
They send me, you know what?
The algorithm?
We've put you through our computers, whoever they is. We think you'll like these people. And they're usually right.
Yeah. Well, you've been advertised for, supplements and things. That, hey, John, you could be stronger and more tan and all these different things. And one of the keys that I found...
I don't know that I could ever get more tan, George.
Is you got to get away from the comparisons. That's where a lot of this anxiety, stress, mental health illness is coming from, because you're going, I'm not there yet. Yeah. How come all my friends, how come all these people are living lives so much better than mine? My life sucks.
Yeah.
You got to take a step back, maybe delete the app for a little bit and get back to reality.
And so when you just said delete the app, millions of people's eyes rolled in the back of their heads.
I'm not doing it, John.
Not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Here's my challenge. Take social media off your phones for a week. Take them away from your kids for a week.
Try it for a day. I bet they couldn't do that.
That's right, for a day. And I want you and your kids, this is going to be crazy, I want you all to talk to one another. I want you to interact with each other. I want you to look at your spouse and say, hi, how are you? Try that and see what happens. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
Show, 888-825-5225. Everyone needs health insurance. If you're alive, and I assume you are since you're listening, I don't know, we're not that great, George. You may have just died in your chair listening to us. But if it's not you, if you're not dead, this means you, right?
This is going great so far.
I'm also great at reading, too. Don't even think of going without health insurance. Just one medical emergency for you or a family member could be enough to wreck you financially. That's why health insurance is a must. But don't jump on the first crappy health insurance plan you find either. The wrong kind or not enough or too much is almost as bad as no health insurance at all. You have to get the right coverage for you and your family. For most healthy people, a high deductible plan is the best option. They have the lowest monthly premiums, and you can use your emergency fund to pay that high deductible, no problem. Or a high deductible plan also allows you to save money for medical expenses in a health savings account, and HSAs come with all kinds of tax and investing advantages. Now, if you have a lot of healthcare costs due to an illness or disability, you may be better off with a preferred provider organization or PPO. With a PPO, you'll pay higher premiums, but your insurance will chip in sooner to help you pay for medical care. We want people to have a choice about their health care. That's why we let Ramsey team members pick the health plan they need. And just like them, you deserve to choose the best insurance for you. Ready to find the right health insurance plan? Text HEALTH to 33789. That's HEALTH, HEALTH, to 33789. All right, let's go to Ryan in Toledo. What's up, Ryan? How we doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Outstanding. What's up, man? How can we help?
All right. So by the beginning of 2022, I'm thinking about paying off my house, but I'm unsure whether I should or not. Talked to the bank, and they absolutely said no. I'm like, well, I've kind of been listening to Dave Ramsey, and I'd like to be debt-free, and they said no, that's an absolutely bad idea. And
what was their reasoning? Yeah, I'm so curious. What did they say?
I'm so happy with this.
They said, we want to keep this loan alive as long as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally disagree with them. I didn't take the time to, really listen to them. They said I should talk to a financial advisor, and I just want to get your guys' opinion.
Well, walk us through your financial situation. What do you got going on? How much money is the payoff? How much money do you have in cash?
Payoff is about $120,000, and currently I have about $140,000 to pay it off.
Just straight up in cash, liquid?
Yes. Yep.
Ryan, congratulations.
Wow.
What do you do for a living, man?
I currently buy and sell equipment. That's what I'm doing right now.
Very cool.
So where did this money come from? You've just been saving up while making your normal mortgage payment?
I had a business that I sold about 2-3 years ago, and I've just been holding the cash back and just keep putting the savings and trying not to touch it. So.
Man, that's awesome. Do you have an emergency fund in place? Have you been following our baby steps?
I have not ever followed your plan. I've been listening to you guys for about a year, but I have not followed the plan. And that's kind of why I'm waiting until I could pay it off right now, but I'd like to have $30,000 or $40,000 sitting in cash for an emergency fund. But
do you have any other debt other than this mortgage?
That's it.
That's it. Well, in the baby steps, where you would be at right now is baby step 4, because you've got all this cash sitting there. You've got plenty for an emergency fund. It may be too much to have 30, 40 in there. We recommend 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a savings account for emergencies. Beyond that, you need to be investing. Have you started investing 15% of your household income into retirement?
I have not. I was kind of waiting until this house is paid off and seeing how much extra cash I had to start investing, and I would need to research more on what to invest in, because I've never been around any kind of investment.
Absolutely. Well, be sure to start that. How old are you right now?
35.
Okay. So you've got time, but you definitely want to be investing in some good retirement accounts, and we can connect you with a SmartVestor Pro. You can jump on RamseySolutions.com and click on Trusted Pros. These are the people that we trust that are in your area, in Ohio, who can walk you through all of your options and make sure you're educated on what to do with this money. But as far as the house payoff, outside of your emergency fund, I mean, you're doing great, man. You can go ahead and pay this thing off tomorrow. Why do you need to wait till next year?
Me to not pay it off and I mean, why would I not want to pay it off, I guess?
To give the bank more money is one reason.
Yeah, so...
You know, they gave me the, usual spiel of building my credit score and all that, and gosh. I don't know.
Dude, listen, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was you. Walk me through your numbers again. How much you owe in your house?
$120,000.
$120,000. And you got how much in the bank?
Right around $140,000 as of right now.
$140,000 right now. I'm telling you right now, if I'm in your shoes, I'd pay that house off today. You have $20,000 emergency fund. That's 3 months for you, right? Especially with no house payment.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd pay that off today. How much do you make? What's your salary?
I don't really know. I just kind of started a new business like 2 years ago. So I'm going to guess maybe $50,000 if that a year.
Well, that changes things a little bit. So, I mean, how much did you pay in tax? I mean, what did you report last year for taxes?
I would have to go back on my records on that one. I can't.
Ryan, you don't know how much money you make?
No, to be honest, I have no clue what I make in the last 2 years.
That's one of those numbers you should have in your head, just to know. So if you make $10,000 a year, then you're going to want a much bigger emergency fund. If you're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, that changes the equation.
Yeah, I mean, rough estimate. I mean, $30,000 to $50,000 a year is what I bring home.
Okay. So you may want to have a little bit of bigger emergency fund, but yeah, there is absolutely no reason to have a $120,000 mortgage with $140,000 in the bank. Absolutely ludicrous. Have no payments.
Do I need to worry about raising my credit score? Do I need to worry about, anything like that? I mean, I don't.
Think about this. If you're never going to go into debt again, you don't need the credit score because you only need the credit score to get approved for debt.
Okay. All the credit score is a relationship gauge about how good of a dance partner you are with debt. If I got $1 million and deposited in my checking account today, my credit score would not change. If I got $1 billion in my checking account today, my credit score would not change. Has nothing to do with your wealth. It has to do with how good of a dating partner are you with debt. It's nonsense.
Okay.
Be done with debt, brother.
Okay. I mean, I think I thought it was that simple. I've listened to several other people, and with the same situation, it's like, well, it's a no-brainer, but when it comes to you individually, you start to question things. So,
no, and hey, let's be honest. If you walk into a bank and the banker looks at you like you're crazy and says, "Man, what are you doing? You're going to ruin this." Of course, that's scary. Yeah. That interest money you are paying them is helping them build a nice big building. Or just think, the chair that person was sitting in, you paid for.
Yeah, the problem is, 8-10 years ago, they had me in so much debt that it was scary.
Hold on, let's flip that around. Let's flip that around. Who had you in debt?
Well, I personally did, but yes, I had myself in debt. But
and then you've worked your butt off to clear out, right?
They were willing to throw it at us.
Well, heck yeah. They love you. You paid for the carpet. You paid for that chair they were sitting on. You paid for their phones. Yeah. They love you.
Yeah.
I want you to buy your own carpet and your own chairs and your own phones.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good? Hey, congratulations, man. For a free call, you just paid off your house. George, we're geniuses.
I can't believe this is free, John. He's crushing it. I'm proud of this guy. Way to go,
man.
so
good, Ryan. What a stud. Hey, listen. Of course, your bank's going to tell you, you know what? You should probably have more debt. Don't
take financial advice from a bank.
Choose freedom. Choose freedom. Congratulations, Ryan. You're debt free, my brother. And find out how much you make, too, by the way. This is The Ramsey Show. 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by George Campbell. Let's go out to Alex in Utah. Hey, Alex, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Outstanding, brother. What's up?
Okay, so I am a teacher, and instead of a pension, my job offers a 401k. But they don't do a match. Instead, they do a straight 10% of my salary goes right into my 401k. Does that count towards my baby steps for investing?
Great question. So in your situation, you're saying it's just a forced savings plan that 10% out of your paycheck is mandatory to go towards this retirement account.
It's on top of their agreed salary, so it's additional 10%.
Additional 10% on top of your salary?
Yes.
How does that work?
Basically, the way the school payrolls work is they say this is the money that you are going to be given, and then on top of that, they to the side they also say, well, this is the money. We also give 10% straight into your 401k account.
Well,
that will be vested to you after the time.
How much money do you make?
About $50,000. It's coming up. It's going to go up this year, as it does every year.
And you're saying on top of that 50, they're giving you more money, but they're forcing that into an investment account?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So you make $50,000, they just put $5,000 every year into a retirement account for you.
Yes.
Well, that's great.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Because that's mandatory from you, we would count that towards your retirement. But what I would do if I were you is maybe discount it a few points just because you're not in full control of this. And we want you to be in control of your destiny and your choices when it comes to investing. So I might discount it by a percentage or two. So you might put in, let's say, 6 or 7%.
Yeah, about 6 or 7% of my income also into a Roth IRA.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you add more money to that 401k that you have?
I could. Would it be better to take the Roth and put that into the 401k? It's not a Roth 401k. It's just a regular 401k.
Okay. Yeah, I would open a Roth IRA, and I don't think you'd get close to maxing it out or anything like that. But if that's something you want to do, depending on where you're at in the baby steps, you can add more to that Roth IRA for sure. But the Roth IRA is going to give you the most options where you're in control of which mutual funds you can choose in there versus the company 401k. So that's what I would do. I'd put 5-6% and put that in the Roth to get you to 15% total. But that's a really cool program they have. I've never heard of that where it goes on top of the salary.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's great. So are you, as far as baby step 4 goes, do you have kids? Are you looking to do baby step 6, pay off the house early?
Yeah, so I'm already saving for my daughters with a 529, and then I'm just working on paying off the house right now.
Man, you guys are crushing it.
Way to go, Alex.
Teachers, awesome. Man, they're the smartest. I'm telling you. Millionaire study. Teachers in the top 3.
Those top 3.
There you go.
Unbelievable. All right, let's go to Kevin in Denver. Hey, Kevin, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Excellent. How are you, man?
Good, thank you. Hey, got a quick question for you guys on we're working our baby steps right now, have been since January. And we have 2 things to pay off. One is one vehicle, and the second is we have done solar panels on our home, so we want to pay those off. But we have a few vehicles in the family, and one of the vehicles is paid off. I'm not driving it. I have the insurance turned off. Obviously can make some good money on it right now. And by my calculations, it accelerates, getting out of the debt through baby step 2 by 2-3 months. But just looking for kind of that confidence guidance on should we sell that car or should we keep it?
Is it something special? Is it a special car?
No, not a special car. I mean, it's a 2017. I'm driving the old family minivan right now. So the plan was when we're out of debt, then, that would become my car again. But no, nothing special.
So you don't need this car at all?
No, we've been very fortunate, and we've got 5 cars in the house.
Well,
so we've got plenty of vehicles.
You have 5 cars. Well, that changes this. Yeah, I'm selling that thing. How much can you get for it? Maybe private sale?
I'm thinking like 15 to 17, I think. It's a 2017
I think you can get more for that on a 2017. What kind of car is it?
It's an Elantra Sport. So
okay.
It's the
What
nothing
other?
too special.
While
but
we're
you get some
selling
good money
cars,
for it.
yeah. So for sure, sell this car. What else you got laying around that you can sell?
Well, I do have a collector car, but that's not going.
So I'm going to tell you something crazy, Kevin. And I mean, hang on to your hats here. My wife and I each just have one car, and our life's pretty rad. Is there a chance you could sell 2 or 3 of these things and just really escalate this? How bad do you want to get out of debt, man?
Well, I mean, bad. I mean, we're
well, I mean, not that bad.
Not collector car.
No, we have the minivan, we have her car, that Hyundai, and then our boys each have a vehicle.
Oh, okay. So you got teenage drivers.
They're 20 and 22. One just finished school and one is in school.
Okay. So I retract my smart aleckness. I was thinking.
They're not like just my wife and I's 5 cars.
I thought you were just kicking with 5 cars and you were rocking the minivan. Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense.
No. I am rocking the minivan.
How much debt is this total?
So we have her car. Total is we have 17 left on her car, which by our budget we'll have paid off by November.
Okay.
And then the solar panels is $32,000 right now. But that plan is to have that paid off by next April or May.
So if you sell this car, you can pay off her car, and then you're down to just the solar panels.
Exactly. And so that's what I was looking at.
Today, do it today.
Almost every day. So just kind of, like, well, it buys me 2-3 months, but that's 2-3 months of being out of debt.
Do it today. Today.
I always make fun of people for that confirmation call, but I'm one of them now. So.
No, I appreciate the call, and you're doing the right thing here. Make sure you do your research. Find out the true value of this thing. Don't just give it away for less than you can get for it. So find out, dealerships, trade-ins, whatever those things are. Sometimes going to Vroom or Carvana will get you just as much as a private sale. So do your research on this, but try to get as much money as you can to accelerate this debt payoff.
And, hey, Kevin, you just said something, and I want to make sure everybody heard that. Kevin's like, man, I listen to the show all the time, and I make fun of those guys those men and women who call in for the confirmation call, that we know what y'all are going to say, but we call anyway. Just to clear the air with everybody, when the microphones are off, I asked Dave, hey, man, I'm about to make this purchase. I'm moving my money to this, to that. Is that a smart move? And he's like, yeah. Dave might ask me, like, talking about marriages, talking about kids, talking about stuff. George, you and I talk about other people are your emergency fund for life. And like the gentleman earlier who walked into the bank, who knows what he wants to be debt-free, he's got the cash, and the bank talks him out of it. It's easy to go into these situations when there's this much cultural pressure that says you should have a FICO score, you should have debt, you're an idiot for paying things off, you're dumb for being debt-free. You're dumb for having a good marriage. You're dumb for communicating with your kids, not letting your kids have all these entertainment systems. You're dumb for not being on social media. You mean your kids don't? If you are the only one, you're going to feel isolated. So it's always good to check in with somebody. Don't ever feel stupid for making a call and checking in with somebody.
Yeah, and there's so many voices that are in your life speaking, oh, the bank says this, my mother-in-law said this, and my brother said to do this. And sometimes you just need one clear source that goes, hey, I'm not a part of any of that, and here's what I would do if I was in your shoes.
I make that a practice of my life, to have people that I can call. I've got a buddy who's, what I'm not? A plumber. I know a guy. I'm not a HVAC guy. One of my best friends in the world is one of the executives at an HVAC company. So if I have I have a guy. If I want to know anything before after the 17th century, I call George Campbell.
I love that.
Just say, tell me about the shiny things on this new phone.
We'll be your guys. Call us up, 888-825-5225.
Don't ever hesitate to call just to check in and make sure you're on the right path. That's wisdom. Not dumb, not idiotic. It's wisdom. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show. 55% of Americans want to change jobs this year. The struggle with burnout is real across the country right now, so much so that they've even given this season of job turnover a name, the Great Resignation. But just like you need a plan for your money, you absolutely need a plan for your career. Ask yourself, what do I like about my current job? What do I not like about my current job? What does my dream job look like? What do I need to do in order to have my dream job? If it's time to make a change, America's career coach, Ken Coleman, has written out his proven career plan in his brand new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Stop settling for just another paycheck and find work that brings purpose and joy into your life. The book plus $100 in free tools we'll send you for pre-ordering will help you find what you're meant to do and how to land your dream job. Everyone needs to read this book before changing jobs. Get your copy of From Paycheck to Purpose today at RamseySolutions.com. Let's go to Ryan in Chicago. What's up, Ryan? How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Outstanding, brother. What's up? How can we help?
So I currently, on my baby step 2, I'm making $71,500 at Renewable Energy Company. And I am thinking of taking a pay cut down to $47,000 or doing a job that I really enjoy and that I've done before, but it definitely pays a lot less, and it would take me a while to get out of baby step 2 financially. So just kind of looking for some direction on that.
Dude, so that's a big drop. That's one of those what I call like a snow globe shaker moments. Like you are dumping things on its head. What do you want to get out of your job so bad? What do you hate about your job?
Well, I work remotely, and when I first started, I did love it, but now it's kind of really isolating, and I don't really enjoy the work. I'm not using my hands. I'm not building things like I would like to. Doing carpentry and stuff that I'm actually really good at and could be around people to mentor them and educate them at the other job. And at this job, I just kind of feel like I'm, doing the daily do and making that paycheck. So
how much debt do you have, man?
About $53,000.
53. You married? You got kids? What's your life situation?
Nope, I'm single. I rent. I have a dog. That's about it.
Man. So tell me about this job you think you want to move into.
So this job is something I've done before. It would be at a community college working with students to help educate them on how to build scenery for theater. I'd be using my hands. I'd be working up and walking around and active. It's something I'm passionate about and that I love to do, that I've done before and that I have a degree in, and I actually know what I'm doing.
Very cool. So, again, this is what, a $23,500, about $24,000 pay cut?
Yeah, right around 25. Yeah.
So I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth on this one, okay? And then I'm just going to be honest with you and tell you what I would do if I was in your situation, and you are free to move about the country how you think it's right. And George, man, I'd love you to hop in here. You are in a season of life where you have no obligations to anybody but yourself, right? And you owe $53,000. I'm assuming most of that student loans. Is that right?
Student loans, car, and credit card, yeah.
Okay. You're in a moment. Well, let me back up. Money. This is a significant lifestyle change, both towards something that you love, being around students, helping them create. You get to do things that you love, especially in the theater department, man. You get to that rush of performance night. That's a total life change that sounds incredible. I mean, it sounds awesome. I've done that with students. I loved that life. The other side of that is you have a magic moment that you could clear this debt in about a year if you chose to. You could get ferocious and clear this thing off once and for all. Yeah. And so what I'll tell you is, I can't tell you the number of people I've talked to, our friend Ken Coleman has talked to over and over and over, that somebody took a job for the money. They didn't like it. They took it for the money. and their life ends up spiraling out on them because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth that move. That's where you found yourself, but you're already here. So if you were making $47,500 and you said, hey, I love the work, I love everything about this, I'm thinking about taking a job that I'm not going to like at all, but it's going to be a $24,000 raise, I would tell you to think long and hard about not doing that, about loving the life you're in. You're already there. And so if I'm you, I would put a calendar date and I would reverse engineer that. How fast and how crazy could I get about paying this debt off? And could I do this in a calendar year? Could I do this in 18 months, be done with this forever, and then I'm going to start leaning into my dream job? Because what I don't want you to do is to go take this job at a community college. You're going to love it. They're going to look at the arts to make cuts first, and you're going to find yourself in 18 months, you're down to $50,000 or maybe $45,000 worth of debt. And then you're either looking for a job or you're frustrated this debt is moving off slower than you thought it was going to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what does life look like if you just grit your teeth and suck it up and just use this high-powered salary you got, dump another job on top of it, and just work like crazy for the next 12 months and just get this thing done? Does that feel better than packing up and moving and taking this thing with you like a pet?
It does, and that's kind of the side I'm leaning toward, because it does make me nervous to take that pay cut.
Yeah.
And I've been grinding it out for about a year now of when I realized that, I'm not enjoying this. And I've just watched the debt go down and down and down, and it's been encouraging. But at what cost is that to, my mental health and
you bet,
and me as a person?
So what I'll tell you in my personal life, I don't tell this story very often. My wife and I sold our house, moved into a college residence hall, and we paid off 6 figures worth of debt in about 18 months. And she was working full-time. I was basically working 3 jobs, 2.5 jobs, and we lived Spartan, and we had no bills. It was a glitch in the matrix. We ultimately, the next year after we paid it off, took a $70,000 household income pay cut to take a new job for the reasons you just acknowledged, for community, to get my head screwed back on straight, to reprioritize our marriage and being parents. And what I will tell you is that year of grinding it out for us, when we were laser beam focused and the checks we were sending every month to student loans were wild. They were more than our car we were driving an old used car. But I'll never, ever regret that year of laser beam focus, that 18 months of laser beam focus to get us to clear that nonsense once and for all. We've never looked back. And so I get you, the pay cut hurts. And by the way, when you live free and you don't owe anybody any money, then you can really lean into your job, be really good at it, say what you really think, and then people reward you for it. And financially, we've recovered that X-fold, right? So if I'm you, I'm going to spend one more year. I'm going to put it on the calendar. I'm going to make those little cheesy rings or whatever. I'm going to make it a destination. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be done with this stuff forever. And then I'm going to start moving about the country. But I'm not going to knock you for having this opportunity to do your dream job. What do you think, George?
Ryan, if I'm in your shoes, I'm going to look at this like I got a $25,000 raise to get rid of this debt fast. So on top of what you're doing now, go do the stuff you love to do and make money doing it, because you're in a place where you can work with your hands, you can build sets, you can do carpentry. There's so much opportunity for you to make money doing the stuff that you already enjoy doing on top of this full-time job, and let that dream fuel you to get rid of this debt even faster. And if your car is worth something and you're not going to be underwater on it, sell that thing and drive a beater and accelerate this. You'll find ways when you want this dream badly enough, and clearly you do. So I would suffer through this next year and get a side job doing the stuff that you enjoy doing, whatever it takes to get rid of this $53,000 in debt so that you're freed up. And you can make $47,000 and it doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother you if you have no payments. That's exactly right. Ryan, you're in a good spot, man. I want to see you go crush it. Crush it, crush it. And your mental health will rise as you accomplish your goals. And by the way, get some community, man. Put yourself in a position to be around other people. Hey, give us a shout. 888-825-5225. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm John Deloney, joined by George Camel, and we are taking your life on relationships, mental health, your finances, getting out of debt, trying to figure out what retirement vehicle is best for you. All of it. It's going on in your house, in your home, in your hearts, everywhere. And we are here for you. 888-825-5225. This is your show, and we're here to walk alongside you. Some people say the advice is worth what you pay for it.
Zero. Just make sure that's clear. It's free.
This is free. It's toll-free. 888-825-5225. George, how's your world going, man?
It's going great, John. We had a great event last night. A lot coming up. Fine Print is I'm having a blast with that podcast. Yeah. And I'm just happy to be here with you. It's pretty rare we get to host together, so I'm trying to cherish it.
I know, and Ken Coleman sits between the two of us, and so...
Oh, that's true. At our actual desks, to make it clear.
Yeah.
He's not underneath the desk right now.
At our actual desks, yes. And so, yeah, it ends up we never get to talk. We never get to see each other.
We never hang out except for this, live, in front of everyone.
It's a big moment before this gets any weirder. Let's go to Caleb in Fort Lauderdale. What's up, Caleb?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys?
We're good, brother. What's up, dude? How can we help?
Yeah, man. So I'm out here for Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm 21 years old. I'm a dad of a 1-year-old. I have a girlfriend. I'm renting out an apartment for about like $1,200. I'm in debt about, I would say, about 20 grand. Currently unemployed. I've been doing customer service for like the last 3-4 years. And really, my general question would be obviously, how to get out of debt, be debt free. And I've been having to do side jobs like Uber Eats and, a couple of other side jobs, whatever I can find to be able to pay my bills, because really my expenses are more than what I'm actually making. That makes sense. You're
unemployed, so you're making basically zero, right?
Yeah, currently, yeah. I was just unemployed. Yes, I was laid off yesterday. So now I'm kind of unemployed today. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Dude, I'm sorry that happened. That's no good. Who laid you off? I mean, not the company, but what'd you get laid off from? From customer service?
Say that again?
You got laid off from your customer service job?
Correct. Well, this was a sales position, but yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So, 21, girlfriend, kid, 20 grand in debt, just got laid off. And you woke up today. Today feels heavy, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been kind of watching you guys for a little bit, and I was like, man, I gotta give him a call, man. I just don't know what to do right now. Yeah.
So, Caleb, what do you want to do, man?
Well, currently, I mean, I've been just looking for jobs, like just moving.
No. Yeah, I got that. What do you want to do?
Like my future, what my dream job is?
You're in a boat that has a big hole in it. And you've got a cup, and you're trying to bail the water out. And then you added a girlfriend. Then you added a 1-year-old. And then somebody dropped a bigger hole in that boat. And what you're looking around for is another cup. And what I'm asking you is, what boat do you want to be in, man? 2 years from now, 5 years from now? What do you want this thing to look like down the road?
Stability, man. Stability.
I know. What do you want to do?
Free.
What do you want to do?
Well, I would like to become a professional trader. I mean, that's something I really love doing. Looking at charts and things like me. It may not be something like everyone's dream or something, but I'd like to become a professional trader.
A trader, TRADE, like a stock trader?
Yeah, correct. Like stock trader. Yeah, stocks. I'm really into that.
So, what steps have you taken to become a stock trader?
Well, I've done a lot of studying, but I know the biggest thing is if you want to make money, I mean, you kind of have to have money in order to trade and things like that. And I'm not going to be borrowing money to trade or anything like that. So I'm trying to essentially be able to build an account with money, saving that account to then be able to go ahead and start trading with little small sizes and be able to grow my account long term, within the next 5-10 years.
So can I be honest with you?
But yes, sir.
That's real close to a get-rich scheme, some kind of scam, some kind of shortcut to try to dig yourself out of the hole that you're in. Now, wanting to trade stocks, wanting to be an investment banker, all that stuff's great, man. But when you've got a baby and a girlfriend and an apartment and $20,000 in debt, trying to build your portfolio over there on the side, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what things do you have? Here's what, man, you and I could talk for a while. Here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about you got a little baby there. You got a scared to death girlfriend. You have rent due. And you got to start figuring out, I got to get some money to go pay the bills right now. Whatever that looks like. Not one job, not two jobs, but 3 jobs. And at the same time, you're going to have to build some sort of, you said I've been doing some research. You can't just get on the internet and Google stuff about how to trade stocks. You need to go learn about what that is. You need to take some finance classes. You need to get in there and learn. Does that make sense?
Right, correct.
And so you've got to get a game plan together that's going to be both, I need some cash right now, which means I got to suck up all my pride, all of it, and get after it. And I got to make some stability plans with my family. And I got to start planning for the future. And, brother, you got to do this all at the same time, which means for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to be tired. You're going to go to bed exhausted because you're going to be working your butt off. You're going to stay plugged into that kid. You're going to marry that girlfriend, and you're going to connect your family together, and you're going to start planting some roots. Does that sound exciting? Does that sound like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about? Or does that make you be like, no, bro, I just need to open an account, and I can make some trades?
No, that sounds exactly like what I'd love to do.
Are you currently day trading and stuff? What's going on that side?
No. I haven't traded a dollar of my money. Nothing like that as of yet. Yeah.
How much cash do you have?
I wouldn't want that.
What's your cash position? Do you have any money?
Probably. I mean, to be quite honest, about like $800 in my checking account. That's about it.
Okay.
So, and what kind of debt is this $20,000?
That's an auto loan. That's an auto loan and credit card.
Are you underwater on the auto loan? What's the car worth versus what you owe?
Yeah, the car it's a Ford Focus. I owe about I think 13, 13, and it's only worth like 9, so I am a little down. I was thinking, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a great idea, possibly about turning in the car and just paying whatever's left on it, and just because we do have a second car that's paid off. But, it's my girlfriend's mom. She gave it to her.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about just sticking with the car.
I mean, at this point, dude, I'd rather you take that car. It's not worth a whole bunch of money. $9,000 isn't. I mean, you're in a mess right now. I'd rather you take that car and start scratching and clawing. So this time tomorrow, you have a job somewhere. You've got a job somewhere to get some sort of income coming in, and then you're going to have a second job by the end of this week, and you're going to start looking at finance school, local community college classes. You're going to get plugged in there, and you and your girlfriend are going to go out and have a planning session and figure out what tomorrow and next month and next year is going to look like.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
is the Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. We're going to go out to Great Falls, Montana, and talk to Joseph. Hey, brother Joseph, what's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
We're here. Are you?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? How can we help?
Well, wanted to find out. We would like to try to do an Airbnb in our basement. We have a basement that's kind of separated from the rest of the house. And wanted to see if home equity line of credit would be something that would be good to do.
If I had a big buzzer, I would hit it right now and go,
Joseph, what do you think? You know what show you're calling.
I do.
Walk me through what you're thinking.
We have a basement that's not completed. It needs some finishing. And so we're trying to figure out a way in order to do that with the current budget that we have.
Are you unable to cash flow this over the next X amount of months?
As you're talking about as far as monthly payments go?
No. I'm talking about...
Could you pay for this renovation in cash? Yeah. And what would that take and how long?
Well, we have not got a firm figure yet from the contractor, so I don't know. We're just estimating based on the little bit we know about renovations, and it would take... I'm not sure what it would take. It'd probably take at least a year to year and a half, I'm guessing, to set aside to do the renovation.
So here's what I'm thinking. I want you to pay cash for this, obviously. I don't know, is there a sense of urgency driving this Airbnb thing, or is this just you guys got excited about making some extra income?
Pretty much, just excited about making extra income.
So if there's no urgency here, I want you to do this at the speed of cash. And I want you to also think about the ROI. Look at the market for Airbnb in the Great Falls area. What are people willing to pay for a basement apartment for a night in your area? And then go, okay, based on all of that, plus the expenses, the fees that Airbnb takes, the cleaning, all of that stuff, how long is it going to take me to recoup my investment that I made in cash?
Okay.
Once you do that, you can start to reverse engineer this thing, and you go, okay, it's going to cost us $20,000 to get this basement in good shape. We don't have to go crazy, and we can put $2,000 a month towards this. So in 10 months, we're going to cash flow this thing, and then all of the money that comes in from that Airbnb is yours, and it's not going to pay off the stupid HELOC. So that's gotcha. The right way to do it.
And by the way, $20,000 is probably probably like 100, right, Joseph?
What do you think this is? Any general estimates?
Well, we're thinking between 30 and 50, depending on the materials that they use or the grade that we go with.
I was closer, John. I was like, Price is Right. I win the prize.
Without going over. Joseph, here's my concern is I'm just going to make something up out of thin air here. Let's pretend that we had a global pandemic, say. And let's say that travel just shut down. And you've got this beautifully renovated home that you now owe debt against your house. The most important asset you own, you've now leveraged against the basement, and you have no income coming in on it. That's my fear.
Right.
And I'd much rather see you and your wife get firm numbers that you can create a true, real budget with, and set up a cash flow. Because here's what you're going to do. You're going to get real excited about this, and you're going to work your butts off to get that cash, or you're going to stop watching so much HGTV, and this is going to be less of a cool, you know what I mean? It's not going to be quite as cool as you thought. Hey, and be honest with me while I got you. Did you watch some awesome Bob Vila episode, and you're like, I think we can do this? Is that...
I've done that several times and done it. Yeah.
I could tell he was a Vila fan.
Dude, I know, man. I go down this rabbit hole myself. Like, oh, dude, I could just, it's going to be incredible. I just need to get $30,000. I got this much equity in my house. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't set yourself up to lose your home over your basement.
Yeah, and on paper, you go, oh my gosh, this Airbnb is going to make us so much money, so it's totally worth it to take out the HELOC. We're going to pay this thing. It'll be great. And then life happens.
And then Great Falls is going to pass an ordinance that says we don't do Airbnb anymore. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute. Or they're going to say you can't have guests, or they've got to have this, or you can only have vaccinated guests, so it's going to cut your population, your customer base in half, or whatever it's going to look like. Pay cash, pay cash, pay cash. And then if you pay cash and suddenly life happens, then you can go sleep down in the basement in this new place, Joseph, and you won't owe anybody any money on it. Let's go to Logan in Louisville, Kentucky. What's up, Logan? How are we doing, brother?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can. How's it going?
How's it going? It's going pretty good. Hey, guys, I have a little bit of a weird one for you guys. So I'm 19, and my friend's also 19, and I started listening to Dave Ramsey about a year ago, and since then I went in, and I work at 2 jobs. I work at a Kentucky truck plant. I work at Ford, and then I also just work a little side job, and we live in a van, both of us, and we both work 2 jobs. We've saved up about $20,000 over the course of, this year doing this. And we're just trying to, I'm really concerned about my future. I don't want to go into debt. So, I don't have any debt, neither one of us. And we just want to know, where do we put this money? Do we put it in Roth IRAs? Do we put this in, maxing out my 401k at work? Where do I put this money?
So I'll let George answer that, but is this a romantic interest, or is this just you and, a roommate?
No, this is like a friend. Yeah, this is just me and a friend, a roommate.
Okay, so I would first say don't speak in terms of we when it comes to y'all's money.
Okay.
Y'all aren't building wealth together. Y'all aren't saving money together. Your van mate will have money and you'll have money. So this is your individual money. Okay? Don't Ghostbusters 1, man. Don't cross the streams here, okay?
Okay.
So
I got you.
You said there's a side business. Are you talking about $20,000 is from the side business that you guys do together?
No. So basically, we've always just said that the money's just we've always just put the money together. There is no side business. It's just 2 jobs.
Why are you putting the money together?
Well, just because honestly, I don't know. We've just been friends for so long since real young, and this has just been.
I'm good friends with John, but we don't put our money together.
It's like Bill and Ted's 1 and 2. We're gonna get married together, and again, I got great friends that I've had my whole life. That's awesome. You guys are scrappy 19-year-olds sharing a van. You got no expenses. Again, not how I would do it, but high five to you, man. But yeah, when it comes to sharing money, one of you is going to meet somebody. One of you is going to get another job and want to move out, and untangling that's going to be chaos.
You're going to lose a friend over this.
That's right.
And I don't want that for you. So you've been listening to the show for a year, so you know the baby steps. So do you have any debt currently, either of you?
No, zero.
And do you have any emergency savings? Do you have a fully funded emergency fund?
Well, I mean, $20,000 we have.
And I'm guessing, okay, so you personally, how much money do you have? That's where this gets real confusing, right? Because you're saying, I don't personally have 20, we have 20. How much of that is yours?
Well, I'd say 10.
You'd split it.
Literally just cut it right
So
down.
I'm guessing $10,000 is 3 to 6 months of expenses for you or more.
Oh, yeah, way more. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And at that point, you'd be at baby step 4 where you can begin investing. The bigger question here is, what is your long-term future? Do you want to be in a van for the next 5 years?
Well, maybe not the next. I mean, yeah, probably. Honestly, yeah, 5 years doesn't sound bad. Maybe not 10. I wouldn't like to push it past that. But yeah, I want to be able to have a big, Dave's always talking about, having banks or having a wealth building tool. And, your income is your biggest wealth building tool, and you just got to free up everything. So I thought, well, what was the best way, gazelle intensity, what was the best way to free up all my expenses? Okay, just live in a van and then get somebody else in here. And then if we're both doing it and, we're both going hard at 2 different jobs, I don't know. We're pretty selfless people as far as each other, but I can definitely see how that would be a problem. The money situation. But yeah, in my head, it's always been
I just want you to have a vision for your future and get a great job that you love and a career that you can sink your teeth into, aside from the van.
Yeah, and man, you are a scrappy 19-year-old brother. I want to high five you. I'm further down the road than you are, and I want to also pass along the importance of a good night's sleep, of a shower, of some stability. And so this might be a 6-month plan. This might be a 9-month plan. Get a 1-bedroom apartment, a cheap 1-bedroom apartment that you can begin to have some stability, invite some friends over, and build a future. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window covering. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use promo code Ramsey to get the best deal. Rules and restrictions apply.
Today's question comes from Bella in California. I have $150,000 in school loans. My fiance has no debt and has more than that amount in savings for a house down payment. We've been together for 5 years. I believe my loans are setting us back on marriage and buying a home together. He prioritizes his, quote, financial planning more than the progress of our relationship. I'm working my butt off to pay these loans while he has the cash to help me and ultimately us. He insists on holding on to the down payment money instead of helping me. He says he wants to marry me, but I feel that his timeline is not very timely. I need perspective on whether I am right in all of this.
Oof. George, you've been married sooner than me. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I feel like this is less of a financial question and more of a relationship question. I don't like this idea of he's prioritizing financial planning over our relationship, and I want to know if I'm right and if he's wrong. These are just backwards ways of thinking about this relationship, and I think both of them are wrong in some ways. I think they need to have a we mentality if they're about to get married. And these loans are about to become his loans and their loans instead of, well, that's her thing, and I've got my money here that I've worked so hard for. Now she's screwing all this up. Yeah. That attitude is going to hurt them in marriage.
Bella, yeah, there's a big, giant, flashing red sign saying, stop, danger ahead. And I know you love this guy, and I'm confident that he loves you. But y'all are living parallel lives and parallel tracks, and you are trying to combine lives, combine futures. You are hitching your wagon to this guy and him to you, but you're trying to do it halfway. And so before anybody takes any more steps, y'all need to get in with a premarital counselor today, tomorrow, ASAP. This is a recipe for a disaster, an absolute disaster. You're not on the same page financially, you're not on the same page relationally, you're not on the same page for supporting one another. Earlier in one of the breaks, I got a question on social media. Somebody asked me like some secret tips of marriage, and I asked George, and he said outserve each other. It's exactly right. And this one is out-earn. Y'all are trying to out-earn each other, try to out-compete each other, out-work your butts off for each other. And it's just the backwards way into a marriage. Backwards way. By the way, this question right here, I need perspective on whether I am right in all of this.
Not what to do, but whether I'm right.
Let me be super clear. If you have an argument with your spouse or your fiance, and one of you wins, you both lose. Arguments in marriage are not to be won or lost. You're not at war in competition with your spouse or with your fiance. The problem is the problem. The challenge is the problem. You're trying to solve something together, not win against one another. And if you find yourself in competition, I want to know if I'm right, or I think he's wrong. You are on dangerous ground, man.
John, I can count on 0 fingers how many times I have won an argument with my wife and it brought us closer together.
0, never.
0.
Never.
So here's my thing. If I'm in their shoes and they can get on the same page, what I don't want is for him to be resentful because he had all this money and they paid off the loans instantly as soon as they got married. And now he's resentful because like all this, I worked so hard for this and she took it all away. It's going to create a lot of resentment. Now that's the right thing to do financially because now you are one and her debt is your debt. But I don't want this to create resentment, and I feel that like that's what's going to happen if he does this.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it's going to create resentment on her part because she's stuck paying her loans, and he's going to go, I'm not paying your loans. I'll get us the house because that's my thing, but I'm not touching your debt.
And then she lives in, quote-unquote, his house as his wife, as the mother of the children in that home. They're all living in his house.
Yep.
Because you've got this debt you're working on.
It's a dangerous situation. Yeah. This is not heading down a good road already. So they need to get on the same page, or otherwise this is not going to work,
absolutely,
regardless of the finances.
All right, let's go to Melissa in Richmond, Virginia. Hey, Melissa, what's going on?
Hi, good afternoon, George and Dr. D. I appreciate you all taking my call.
Of course. What's up?
I'm going to make this quick because I have a lot to disperse, but I have I took a job. I obtained a new job, a position that I had wanted to take and do anything that I wanted to do. IT, I'm in a male-dominant field. However, I feel like that I am still feeling the symptoms from my old job of being burnt out, of being not included. And when I've shown my passion, I've shown that I want to be included, and I know I have the desire. And for some reason, I think that with everything else that's going on, I'm finalizing a divorce. I'm not being able to co-parent properly with my son's father. I walked out on that job. And I don't know why. I know why, but that was not my character.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad about it. And so I'm just wondering, with going through baby step 2, I was in the midst of that. How do I get the motivation to not take what I've learned or what I've experienced in the past to a new opportunity? And I definitely don't want I don't want God to be mad at me that I have not being grateful for this opportunity and new job, things that I have been wanting to do for years and never got a chance to. And I just feel so bad about it, and I don't know what to do from here.
Melissa, thanks for sharing that. You are in a storm. You're in a tough season. And a tough season of loss, tough season of figuring out what's up and what's down. And one of the temptations we have sometimes when we get hit by the tsunami of life is we make it a character issue. I should have been able to swim better. Should have been able to hold my breath longer. And I don't want you to look in the mirror and see a defeated, broken person, okay? You're in a tough season. It's winter right now where you are. The sun will come out again, okay? So some quick math here. Are you unemployed now? Or when you said you walked out on your job, did you just walk out and you're going to go back tomorrow? What's your employment status?
No. I don't think that, I'll be going back because I haven't yet heard from HR. She sent me an email. I sent her an email, but she hasn't responded to what I sent her. So I don't think so, because I don't think that things will be better at that job. I'm a very analytical person, so I was
Melissa,
analyzing.
Do you have money for food and rent?
Well, I'm gonna have to use my emergency fund probably for my rent. Because I definitely, and I just moved here around the time I started the new job. So
here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to make your body is in fight or flight. You're exhausted. And you used the word burned out. I want you to pick up a copy of the Nagoski sisters' book, Burnout. It's a remarkable book that helps people walk through when their body takes over in order to keep them safe. You're going through a divorce, you're messing with your kids, you're in a new town. All these things are circling around you. But I don't want you to lose sight of you still got to eat and pay rent. And I know it feels like you are so cooked right now, and I got to get away from everything, and I get that, but you're going to wake up in 48 hours and you're not going to have money to eat. And it may be too late. If it's possible and you are safe, go back to work and make that a part of your recovery, a part of your healing journey.
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm not the one to be still.
I know. And I don't want you to hear that as a character thing. I want you to hear that as you have a heart and a body that is trying to keep you safe in the middle of a storm. And you've got to deal with the realities. I got to eat. You will have a moment for your dream job. You'll have a moment for finding out the best thing that's going to best meet your skills. That's not today. Today is you're going to enter in a season of healing. It's going to be a year or two. You're going to enter into a season of peace, but you got to pay your bills along the way. And if they'll have you back and the job is safe, I want you to go back and get that job. And I want you to start your healing journey, find a counselor, find a pastor, and get on. Today's scripture of the day is Psalms 9:10. Those who knew your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Rosalind Carter says, you have to have confidence in your ability and then be tough enough to follow through. That's a great quote. You have to have confidence in your ability and then be tough enough to follow through. Let's go to Johnny in Utah. Hey, Johnny, what's up, brother?
Not a lot. How are you guys doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call. My question kind of falls more in the category of some of the other calls earlier today, where it's kind of more of a confirmation. I have a credit card. It doesn't have a balance on it. I'm debt free. All that good jazz. And I just have a sentimental value to it. I just can't seem to get rid of it.
Is it cute?
Well, I wish it was.
Does it make you feel safe? Why can't you get rid of it?
Why is it sentimental?
Just because it's like I didn't really have, growing up, I didn't really have a, support system and all that. And so there was a time in my life when I had a lot of debt and I had to have it, so to say. But I'm not there anymore now. Thankfully, I'm good financially healthy, so to say.
Yeah, so tell me about, you had to have it. Tell me about that.
Well, originally, when I started kind of stacking debt on it, it was just more of like, I needed it for rent. I was going out of a bad relationship at the time.
But why did you need that credit card for rent? Why did you need, you're coming out of a bad relationship. Why did you need a credit card to help exit a bad relationship?
Just pretty much to be able to, I didn't want to leave my partner hanging at the time, so I had to cover that half of the rent and then, find a new place. And at the time, I just didn't have the money for it. So I was young and dumb, but
what I'm trying to get you to is you didn't need it, but it helped you do things that you wanted to do. Is that fair?
Yeah, that'd be a fair assessment.
Okay. And I'm not trying to poke at you or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is you've got some tight emotion. This thing is wound into you somehow, and it sounds like it's wound into the dissolution of a relationship that meant something to you, of a tough season in your life. And it's become a security blanket. It's become something that you hang on to as a just in case of a just in case. And so what I'm trying to unwind here is you don't need it like you need air or water. You don't even need it financially. Are you out of debt now?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah, man. Do you have an emergency fund?
I do, 6 months.
Brother.
That should be sentimental, not a piece of plastic that a company printed out with your name on it.
Yeah.
Would you cut it up on the phone with us, or is that too hard for you?
What was that?
Would you ever cut this card up on the phone right now while we're on the line? You said you needed confirmation, so you know what you need to do.
Cut it right up.
I don't have feathers on me, but yeah, I'll definitely get rid of it.
No. You have it on you. You love it. You have it on.
I pictured you holding it while you called us.
Or on a necklace.
No, it's just in my wallet right now.
Pull it out and cut it up.
Dude, cut it up today. You can call them up and cancel and tell them Dave Ramsey told you to. Do whatever you got to do, but you need to get this out of your life. You're in a different place. You work so hard to get out of debt, and you know you're never going back again. Let that be sentimental. The hard work, your never again moment where you said, never again am I going to have to rely on a credit card to pay rent. You've done so much hard work to get to this point, and now you're sentimental over a literal piece of plastic. Just take the emotion out and just look at it logically. A company printed out a piece of plastic and gave you money, not as a gift, but so that they could make money off of you. I want you to get angry at this company, angry at this card, cut it up, put it in an ornament, put it on your Christmas tree. How's that for sentimental?
I probably won't put it on a tree, but that definitely...
But you're keeping it in your wallet. There's not much of a difference, is there?
Yeah, or cut it up and mail it to us. Cut it up and set it in a fireplace.
I like that idea. John will shoot it.
I'm not going to shoot it, but here's the thing. You know what you need to do, and I'll honor the fact that this thing has woven itself into you, but as George said, I want you to flip that connection around. It is not something that's kept you safe. It's something that's kept you trapped. It's something that's kept you enslaved. Be angry at this thing that has grown roots into your soul, and it's time for it to go. And you've done all the hard work already. Call it and cancel it. Do we have your word in front of the entire country? Today's the day?
Yes, today's the day. I don't want it anymore.
It's awesome. Today's the day. Today's the day. You are free, my brother.
Woo!
Congratulations,
I'm
man.
excited.
It's awesome.
Congrats, man.
All right, let's take one more. Let's go to Ethan in Toledo. Hey, Ethan, what's up, brother? How's it going?
Hey, better than I could possibly earn, brothers. How are you?
Same here. Same here. How can we help, man?
Proverbs says that in the multitude of counselors there is safety. So I'm just calling to see what your guys' thoughts are. If, we got baby step 1, $1,000, baby step 2 is where we're at. And if we believe that it's going to take like 10 to 20 years in baby step 2, because just because the debt is so many times
20
the income.
years.
Yeah, so if it's going to take that long,
do you have $1 million in debt?
What's your debt load?
No. There's definitely things that can be done.
How much do you owe?
Let's talk numbers here.
All right.
How much debt?
Go quick, because we're going to get up against the clock here. How much do you owe?
Yeah, so say $400,000.
You owe $400,000?
Yep.
Okay.
And an income of 60.
What kind of debt is this 400?
Mostly student loans.
What'd you go to school for?
I'm actually calling for a friend. I think it was like psychology and criminal justice. But there's like several degrees involved. So
this isn't your debt or your money. You're calling on behalf of a friend?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, this is a big hole and a very little shovel.
The answer to your question, Ethan,
high level.
Ethan, the answer to your question is no. The answer is no, you don't need a bigger emergency fund. Is that what you're about to ask?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
what you need is
$1,000 for like 1 to 3 years. But I'm wondering if it's going to take.
You need to get a job that pays more than $60,000. And if you've got hold on, if you got this type of student loans and this many degrees, you need to figure that one out. You need a much bigger shovel.
Yeah.
The answer is not to skimp on the plan. This is a catastrophe. This is a world-class emergency room fiasco financially. There is no safety here. There is no $5,000 emergency fund's not going to keep you any safer. $400,000 against 60. You need a way, way, way bigger shovel because you're in a big hole. And we just can't. You got to figure it out.
They need to be working 3 or 4 jobs for 5 years to clean this mess up.
Yeah, and an action is being taken toward increasing the income. I just wondered, like, is there a year threshold where you would say, yeah, it's probably wise to do more than 1,000? Like,
no,
because
years,
is it
I don't
7?
want you punting off 5 years. I want you figuring this out way, way sooner. Way, way sooner. What's the average, George, it takes when somebody gets serious about this thing?
18 to 24 months. And the average time it takes the average person to pay off student loans is 20 years. But we're not doing average here.
That's right.
We're going gazelle intense. This person needs to live their life.
That's right.
So you need to tell their friend they need to get 4 jobs, and they need to cut whatever they've been doing with their life and start to make some smart decisions. And that doesn't include having a year's supply of emergency fund. That's not the issue here.
And I want to thank James Childs and Kelly Daniel. Thank you, America, for listening to us and for joining us right here on The Ramsey Show.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.